You are scared of whites. We are not scared of white people. You know why? Rabalata ka Friday, linandele chabile. Rabalata Friday go Senegal. We are going to face white men face to face. You cowards ran away. You cowards allowed white people to burn your cars. You are cowards. We are not cowards. Rabalata Makua, Senegal on Friday. And there is no one who's going to stop us. White terrorists, when they meet in Senegal, white terrorists, when they black an N14 and N1, there is no policeman with a stinking boot next to white people. But we will never allow white men to show us what they showed Mandela during the negotiations. That thing must have ended there. That white arrogance should have ended there. It can't continue now, 25 years into democracy.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Pepper's Echo. This is the NA discussion. Julius and Andre. Welcome, Julius. It's great to have you on my side as well. Our show seems to have picked up a little trend. Unfortunately, it has picked up a couple of technical difficulties as well. I do apologize, falling on my face ferociously.
In true Cambodian fashion, I'd say.
Indeed. So it fell on my face ferociously this evening. As you can see, everything's all over the place. I've got everything in my face. I'm on a laptop instead of my PC. I'm really, really disappointed with this NVIDIA RTX 2060 card with a display port which isn't working. So my second screen's not working. So I just switch over to laptop to try and get that running. With that, unfortunately, we exceeded the 10 minutes being late, and the Facebook feed was deleted automatically. So we are only on YouTube at the moment. So if you are catching us on YouTube, we'll put a Facebook link onto Facebook as well, to the YouTube one.
You see, it's because you've got so many videos of Julius Malema on your computer that it crashed.
You see, when they flip and start wrecking things, they really wreck it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Julius, as you figured out, I've got sound problems as well. So if you do hear that my sound is giving grief, please let me know, and I can switch it over to my mic on my earphones.
Yeah, no problem. I can hear you perfectly now, though.
Okay, so yeah, that first little bit there was a tiger. So yes, we're going to take a look at the face of racism in South Africa at the moment. There's another little discussion that sort of shot its little head up right the way to today again, and that was a discussion on retired, was it current? I think it's retired General Isaac Nel, but we'll bring that along as we go a little bit further. I just actually wanted to, and I don't know if I should play that clip again, if we were all so tense that no one actually knew what the hell was happening when we looked through there, of Julius Malema. And this is where he was outside the court. I'm actually going to play it again so that we can actually catch.
Play it again. Just keep in mind that this is incredibly recent that these speeches happened. This was a week ago.
I think it's as early as Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, last Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's within 5 days ago. And then the one that we'll be following and going through is done on Friday. Yeah, a little bit concerning, but let's take a look at this one again, because I didn't take no notes this time.
You are scared of whites. We are not scared of white people. You know why? Rabalata ka Friday, linandele chabile. Rabalata Friday go Senegal. We are going to face white men face to face. You cowards ran away. You cowards allowed white people to burn your cars. You are cowards. We are not cowards. Rabalata Makua, Senegal on Friday. And there is no one who's going to stop us. white terrorists, when they meet in Senegal, white terrorists, when they black an N14 and N1, there is no policeman with a stinking boots next to white people. But we will never allow white men to show us what they showed Mandela during the negotiations. That thing must have ended there. That white arrogance should have ended there. It can't continue now, 25 years into democracy.
Well, carrying on, I'd just like to say, well, you know, for whoever, I don't think I've got anyone tuned in yet, but if you're going to watch on the replay and for watching, guys, thank you very much for actually watching and supporting the Peppers Echo. We really appreciate it. And yes, if you've got any, like and subscribe would be good. And if you've got any great ideas, we had a fantastic guest on the show last week, Arnold Besson from Urban Viking.
Bossman.
Bossman, sorry, but
Yeah.
Arnold's going. Thank goodness I'm in Cambodia. He'll beat me up, that man will. But yeah, and we hope to have him back on the show again soon as well. But once again, I'd like to just state that none of this material that we're showing, we own any form of rights to, copyrights to, or anything like that. Anything showing with any form of emblem is copywritten, and the rights are owned by the people who the slogans or logos are on. We only use them for reference. References are also linked in the description or the comments below, so that you may go and reference the full version of everything that we have and are discussing as well. And then once again, I'd also like to just point out that we are not highly educated technical. I'm not saying we're stupid, but what I'm saying, we're not huge researchers or anything like that. What we put on this program aren't the answers. We put on the questions of the daily, everyday man in the street. It's when you sit down and you have a conversation and we go, why? What the hell? Or, you know what, we're bringing you new people. So this is why I say, if you have anything, please give us drop us a mail and say, hey, you know what, we know this person, it might be interesting. He might, you know what, it might be somebody who knows how to crochet around blankets or something like that. If that's his passion and they find it interesting and you think it'll be a good thing for the show, then let's talk to somebody who crochets around blankets. Sometimes we need to deal with the hard-hitting stuff, and unfortunately, as we are far from South Africa, not long out of South Africa, and we do long for South Africa, the only way that we feel, and I think I speak for Julius and myself, is the only thing that we can do to actually help and benefit and also open up a bit is air our views as the man in the street, looking from the outside inside. If you want something bigger, we often suggest the big guns, Ronaldo Gous, Chris Wyatt, Conscious Caracal, Morning Shot, Germ Warfare. Go for the guys. I've put a lot of their links in the description as well, and I very, very much suggest go and support them, go and subscribe to them as well. These are the guys who'll probably give you more of the answers. We will probably generate more of the questions. And once again, our questions are often not substantiated, but more questions from the man in the street. It's not like we're laying a blame at anyone's mat, but we're just giving our views and opinions as a layman, as what many people do. And you know what? If you can become part of our chat, we are on Sundays, South African time, 2:00 on YouTube on the Peppers Echo channel, and Cambodian time, 7:00 in the evening. And we try and put out one content video in the week as well. But yeah, if you've got anything for Julius or myself, there is the email address as well. Please pop it in there. And yeah, if you're on, please pop into the comments as well. I would really appreciate it. But yes, straight off the bat, we're going into what we... Oh, sorry. You wanted to say something before I...
Yeah, no, I just want to mention that it comes to mind that we're not political analysts, no, but it's also really, really important that we keep in mind that Andre and myself and, well, you and myself, we have exactly the same, if not more limited access to the media than the average man in South Africa. So this is basically, if we can formulate proper logical arguments on this channel. This is by only having the same access that any other South African has. So if we can come up with proper good arguments with evidence to that, then I think any South African any South African can. It's important to keep that in mind too. That we're not political analysts and this is not what we do for a living, but if we can formulate these arguments and think for ourselves, then so can you. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be absolutely super. Thank you. So off to a start of our theme for this evening, the face of evil, racist evil or evil racist. And it's not Grim from the Minions or something like that. It's something far more evil.
A lot more sinister, yeah.
As you just seen, yeah. That speech or that was in this week, made by Julius Malema. I think it was just after coming out of his court case. I stand corrected there. I'm not too sure if it was. He was pretty well dressed. Once again, spewing his hatred to whites after, I assume, departing from his white lawyers. But as I've heard, I don't know the truth behind that. But yeah, I believe he hates whites so much that he only entrusts his legal business to whites. So, and I'm sure that his bank account, which is pretty much stuffed with VBS scoops, once again, also assumption, is very much assumption again, placed in a white bank account overseas, because he will, of course, not trust the South African banking system. Once again, assumption.
Yeah.
But how does this man get away with it?
That their big and trusted partner, VBS Bank, that's been funding communism in South Africa for ages, had a white Afrikaans CFO as well. So yeah, the white man we can't be trusted with anything, right?
Yeah. And he constantly speaks out against, and he has no scruples about throwing white and creating a divide between black and white. My question is, how does this man get away with this? Because I will actually start. We will actually show you a few clips from his cynical speech, which is going to tick you off even worse. But how does this man get away with it? I mean, first of all, he's telling us about they're going to Senekal, and I don't want to cover Senekal itself today because I think that horse has been flogged to death. Social media, mainstream media, which can't get jack shit right. I can't believe that the world and the country needs to rely on social media more than mainstream media, because of the fact that these pawpaws swing so far left. And I don't say that we swing left. I do believe that we've got pretty open minds. But wow, this mainstream media, if you can't see they're biased, either biased or muzzled, whichever one you want to choose to say. But yeah, not cool. But how does this man get away?
Look, I can tell you before we jump into that video, we can do some analysis on that. But I've got a theory, okay, which links more things together when it comes to modus operandi as well as intent behind these actions. That gives us a little bit bigger overview, a more broad overview, if I can state it like that, about what I think is going on and why he is doing what he is doing and what repercussions it currently has. And we can discuss what can be done, but yeah, let's maybe jump into that video first. But I do have a theory.
Well, it's an 8-minute long video, so I will be splitting it up as we go along.
Yeah, sure.
But so that it does not take up time. And if you do feel that we need to stop it, go, whoa, hang on, I need to say something here, and we can either pause it or stop it totally.
You'd probably know by hearing some vile language from my side. Okay,
should we stop it now, or are you just airing your views as we go? But yes, once again, I just want to state that none of this, we own any form of copyright or copies to it, and all copyright and copies are the rightful property of the owners. So there we go. Let's see. This is a start of the Senekal.
Thank you very much for coming here today in your numbers to come and stand toe to toe with racist and white terrorists who think they can use the small town to show a middle finger to the whole country. And we said to them, unlike those who negotiated with you in Codesa, we will not allow you to show your white supremacist tendencies when we are here. We are here to fight and die for the land. We are here to fight and die against apartheid.
Okay. I don't know. It's just absolutely astounding. He's not there for, what is the reason around that gathering? That gathering was actually support for a farmer that was brutally murdered that we actually spoke about 2 weeks ago when we were talking about farm murders. And I think the whole country's actually drawn a line and said enough's enough.
Mm.
But we're here to stand against land.
To basically throw a middle finger to the entire country. That's apparently what white South Africans and white farmers are trying to do. Now, can you imagine what Brendan Horner's family must feel like there? That the court proceedings of your murdered family member is considered openly in the public as throwing a middle finger. I don't see the link to that. That's purely I'm at a loss for words, man. That's provocative. That's provocative. That's it.
And we're only starting. That was just a mild one. I thought we'd start quietly as we went along because it just went mildly. But Yari is fighting against apartheid, which has been abolished, and he is fighting for land. And we're on two different subjects here, buddy. You're on the wrong rail. Why are you here? And I think hidden agendas on why you're here. You're here to become a thorn in the side of somebody else.
A quick thing to mention that I've started picking up in most of his speeches and stuff lately. If we expect Donald Trump to stand up and deliver a speech, if we expect anybody from the DA or the Freedom Front to stand up and deliver a speech, we expect a strong message. We expect that speech to have a theme, at least one clear, strong, directional message. And in all of his speeches lately, there's no clear message. It's literally just a fucking burst cesspool that spews out, and it's not coherent. It doesn't make sense. There's no point to what he says. So keep that in mind when you see all of these speeches, and when you unfortunately start getting numbed out to the normal emotional response. Take a look. There's absolutely no point to what he's saying, except for an incitement for violence here and there. But it's all just insults and mumbo jumbo.
Let's take a look further, because that was a few seconds and I've got 8 minutes of it. But I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, you know what, we have numbed out. It's like living at an airport, near an airport. For the first few weeks, the planes bother you going over. Thereafter, they're still going over. You just don't hear the sound anymore.
Yeah.
We fought to own the land. We fought to own the banks. We fought to own the mines. We fought to own strategic industries and any strategic sector in the economy of South Africa. Die and get imprisoned to swim with white people in the same beach. We did not die and get imprisoned to go to the same schools with white people. Those are, by the way, the real issue. It is our land. We want our land with everything that comes with it.
Okay, the next one's probably going to not have the clearest of audio on it. But yeah, he wants land, but everything with it. So every bank, every mine, anything that the country owns, he wants. Although, let's take a look at fact. And I mean, once again, we're not huge political analysts and researchers. It's what we see, and it's fact. It's in our faces. Anything that the government has touched has turned to shit.
This is completely true, man. If you also take a look at this in contrast to the speeches made by Adolf Hitler, you know, the strategic planning of taking over infrastructure of a country is that's one of the first chess moves that communists make. I mean, once you own the banks, once you own the land, once you own agriculture, once you start owning property, that's a very, very big thing. And once the value of property you know, is seen from a communist point of view, the country is gone, because if you own the main infrastructure, that's it. So this is basically the same bullshit that's been spewed for years and years and years by communists. And it's just this time they put white beret on the boogeyman.
This is the whole thing. He has no scruples in blaming white. And he wants it from the white. And the white is this, and the white person's that. He started off with calling them terrorists. And and it's not we'd like to own, we would like to have a share in. We want. Everything is want. We want land. We want I don't know. What do you think? This world is built on handouts?
I think it's a little bit bigger than that. I mean, this certainly just sounds like a bunch of lip service towards a narrative in this country that everybody else except the EFF is trying to actually mitigate, and that's race relations. This is purely paying lip service to that to distract everybody from what's really going on. And yes, it's a want thing. Don't talk cuck with me. He's never fought a day in his life.
No, he has not.
Absolutely not. Come on, man. There's no revolution going. Seriously, and I think anybody with with the ability to think critically knows that.
And then his argument is, we didn't fight to go on the same beaches, and we didn't fight to go to the same schools. Although every school that has any form of Afrikaans in it has is like no good. It's got to change.
But they can't build their own. They can't. Well, they've clearly shown us they can't. They can't build and maintain one of the most important parts of a working society, which is a bank. If they can't even build and maintain that, now they want to come take everybody else's schools. But now white schools aren't good enough because they're white, so they can't build their own. So they want to burn ours, but they can't really build their. Come on, man, rule over your ashes much? Yeah.
You know what? I don't mind if they said, you know, we'd like to start with a bank. Let's start building our bank. You know what? If you want your own bank, you want your own bank, but the bank belongs to a private company within the country, which is what builds the economy. You're happy to piss all over your economy, but everything he's wanting. You were saying, when you have a Trump, when you have a DA, when you have a president, when you have whoever of importance giving you a speech, you want a speech with thump behind it. This guy just echoes racism, and he gets away with it.
The significance of banks as well, where it relates to politics too, is I would actually ask all South Africans, or well, anybody who watches this channel, let me know down in the comments of the concept of, if you actually took a look at the political party you want to vote for, and you saw them through the same lens that you would look at a bank, would you bank with a political party that you're actually going to vote for?
It's a freaking good question. I don't know if I'd bank with I don't even know if I'd bank with a political party that I'd vote for.
Well, not that South African banks are so fantastic to start off with, but it's a good question. Would you place your money where you place your vote? And I think the moment South Africans start thinking a little bit more through that lens and with that perspective, we would definitely start seeing change, man.
Well, I would just like to say, let's take a look at VBS Bank and its success. How successful was VBS Bank, which was owned? You know what? I'm not. Yeah, I'm not on this channel to say black and white. I feel that I'm a centralist, probably center right, sadly, but truthfully, I'm not going to be a bigot and a hypocrite. But I don't believe in the far right, and we'll actually get to discuss something on that this evening as well. Now that we're getting on a roll, I love these chats that we have, by the way, and then I totally can't understand the left, and I don't know what they call woke these days. Is an absolute pile of dung. But anyway, let's take a look further as we go along, and then we might see something that upsets us even.
How am I going to get through that? How am I going to get through this without getting
using racism to undermine your own fellow white South Africans? You don't just see a white man and say, yeah, you took our land. They are South Africans. They live with us for as long as they appreciate and accept that we are the rightful owners of South Africa, and they are visitors in our country, and visitors must behave like visitors do.
Congratulations, you were only a visitor.
What the?
Screw where you were born, buddy.
That didn't even make any sense whatsoever.
Bugger off where you were. Let's see if I can get this playing. Yeah. Anyway, to hell with where you were born.
And by the way, the Dutch was in South Africa way before he was, and way before his ancestors were anyway. So he owns shit. Well, he owns a lot through corruption, but he doesn't rightfully own anything.
I just want to put in quickly, Wally. Jeez. Please tell me something like that. I just want to show you something that I found along the way. I don't own this, but I actually found it. And okay, our country, our land, it belongs to us. We own this land. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to throw a cat amongst the pigeons quickly. Tell me if you can't hear it. The sound isn't the greatest on it, though. But tell me if you can't hear it, because I have tried to do sharing sound. Let me try something here first. As I said, I do apologize because my system is not the system that I usually use. But let me try that to make sure that we will get to hear the sound. But let's listen to a gentleman that is black, and he's just questioning this gentleman, and not questioning his racism, but questioning his claim to the country.
Honorable Julius Malema, I'm rising on a point of order. If I finally meet up with you, I would want to ask you these questions. Are you Julius Malema or Marema? Are you South African, or your father was a Shona illegal immigrant from Zimbabwe called Mr. Marema? Is it too early for you to divulge? South Africans are wondering, and they are confused as to why you love Mugabe so much, G40 so much, more than them. You talk about Zimbabwe all the time. Please come out now. If you are one of our brothers from Zimbabwe, be open and invest the money you are taking from your gullible supporters in South Africa, and also invest back home in your country. Did you get your South African ID
There's the photos.
correctly?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Wanting to become South African president, or you're just joking? How do I become a mafia and live the life you are rolling right now? How do you manage to hide for so long that EFF is your personal pyramid scheme designed to fund your lifestyle from your gullible followers. You hire and fire willy-nilly, ne? You are in attention-seeking games and well trained in how to hypnotize your followers to give you money. Your followers will call you economic freedom fighter when you are nothing but a corrupt black money bag grabber, BMBG, and a mafia boss, T-boy, Adrian Mazzotti. Do you tell your ignorant followers that the mansion you stay in is owned by your friend and mafia boss, Adrian Mazzotti, who teaches you how to run a successful tobacco smuggling syndicate? Are your followers aware that you abuse public funds? You destroyed a 6 million rand mansion in Sentin only to build a new one when your salary by then was a mere 20,000 rands. During your time as ANC Youth League president, do they know you can't be trusted with money? Tell your followers how VBS Bank money got looted. Tell your followers the real reason behind you fighting the Second Republic in Zimbabwe, why you are fighting His Excellency President E.D. Mnangagwa. It's not a matter of human rights. You are a G40 loyalist. You are a factional front, a G40 drunk parrot front. You are working for the Joao, for the Kasukueres, for the Jonathan Moyo, not Zimbabwe Lives Matter. You are the last person to talk about human rights. Do you know Robben Island? Do you know how people were tortured in apartheid underground torture chambers? Combine those two, you are going to come up with EFF head office in Bramfontein, Johannesburg. You are terrorizing your command. You are firing them nilly-nilly. Is EFF not under terrorism? You torture them into submission. They are all your wives, your yes wives. Whoever contradict you, whoever rise is fired. You are a little Robert Gabriel. No wonder why you are a
Roll him.
singer. You adore and practice tyranny, dictatorship. EFF is a cult, not a political party. No democracy, everyone jumps when you sing. It's your way or the highway. Read Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. You definitely need deliverance for you to escape from evil because you are a little devil. Why are you abusing President Cyril Ramaphosa? Because he's a gentleman, because he's respecting you, because he's quiet. You suffer from self-hate. If it really Black Lives Matter, are you saying people who support ANC, DA, Inkatha Freedom Party, all South Africans who are non-EFF members, are you saying they are not black people? Why must they watch in horror while their elected members of parliament are subjected to satanism by your cult of evil, EFF brigade from hell? You are not even a president of South Africa, but you talk as if you are the president of the republic. You talk as if you are the president of Zimbabwe. You talk as if you are SADC chair. Please behave. Man really talks. A person who failed matric has got a master's degree. From your trip, you have come pretending like you don't like white monopoly capital, when actually you are bashing your own black brothers. Everyone you talk bad of is normally a black person. You and Nelson Chamisa in Zimbabwe, you are perfect examples of how imperialism is choosing power-hungry youngsters to destabilize the African region by imposing you as a stooge. You will never be a South African president. I used to insult my leadership, but I've repented. Let's broadcast, let's spread love in Africa. Is this what they do, how they do politics in the Western world? No. We are giving entertainment and windows for recolonization of Africa. Let's treat our leaders with respect so that one day, if we become leaders too, we'll be respected. Hashtag Unite South Africa. Hashtag Unite Zimbabwe. Hashtag Unite Africa. Let's stop evil.
Sorry, I don't know if that is
Holy shit.
I really don't know if that's the truth. So I could
Well, look, if it's the truth or not, I think that's beside the point. How shit must you be that you get taken out by a Zimbabwean journalist?
You know, I don't know who that is. I don't know the guy. I do not own the rights. Once again, we do not own anything of that. It is what I actually came across quite by accident. While I was doing, as I said, we're not huge researchers, but while I was actually doing a little look up, and suddenly I was listening to this little squirt squealing about how his land and his country, and they died for, and they went underground for, and you came from Zimbabwe.
That would be hilarious. First of all, but well done to that young man. He gave him a proper verbal hiding there.
He was very, very diplomatic, though. Did you see? He did not insult him. He actually told him to go to hell and look forward to the trip. But still, he was very diplomatic. He was very professional. He did not sling any insults badly at all. You got a degree after failing matric gives us all hope, but
we forget these things, man. We forget that is Julius Malema is a member of parliament in South Africa. He's a member of parliament.
And then his connections. And you know what? I'm not saying everything that this guy's just said on the video is true, but hell, he's showing photos as well. So
he must be convinced, but
yeah, so I don't know. You know what? A lot may be there. Once again, it's just thrown out there to be questioned. But it's just the fact that we keep on questioning this little blighter who keeps on jumping up and down on the stage, screaming racism, terrorism, oppression by whiteness all the time. He doesn't try a single thing to build up. No one does anything to him. I put out content on the president's letter that he wrote on the 12th of October, which was an absolute farce. It was a eye blind of destruction of the country. He kept on dividing everybody there, and it's no wonder this little rat isn't caught in its trap, because he is their little chihuahua. He's not a bulldog. He hasn't got teeth, but he has a loud voice.
This is very, very true. And I don't know if you've ever heard about the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a psychological theory where, well, not theory, it's actually been proven, but where the louder people are generally the ones who don't know what they're talking about. The people who know what they're talking about generally don't come off as obnoxiously loud as he does. And I can tell you, look, if I take a look at the situation as a whole, I can sum it up with the milk stool argument, that Julius Malema's political success in South Africa depends mostly off of three things in my mind. First of all, we know that he is the root cause of the primary threat to South Africans' safety, especially the white farmers. And the thing is, he uses this race, and he's been race bashing so hard, he uses this as a disguise for his own political agenda.
Correct.
The three legs I'm talking about here is the first one we saw very clearly there is his narrative. It's his message, the noise he makes, the emotions he provokes. And that leg he predominantly uses the media for that. I mean, I would go as far as to say the South African mainstream media is basically the ANC and Malema publicists. I mean, they do it for free. Network 24.
Definitely.
The next one then.
Radio number after 6,
Yeah.
number before 1, and number after 1.
So the first one, look, he needs his message to get out there. The second one is he needs free range within the law in South Africa to get away with these things, and this obviously is done by the ANC, by Cyril Ramaphosa. Also getting away with the law. Who did we see sitting next to old Julius Malema in that court case in Senegal? Our very own Bheki Cele. So he has that. So now the third leg he needs is, most importantly, he needs money. There we go. So that is how, come on, man. Take this in context of any other country in the world. Seriously.
Straight after insulting him.
Straight after insulting his police force as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one, and the biggest one, which we'll get to, is he needs money. He needs money, buddy. And if one of those legs get kicked out from under his ass, he starts. Well, I don't think he'd necessarily just fall, but then he starts with a balancing act. Now, pulling off a balancing act, you can only do that for so long, because if you take one of those legs out, let's say, for instance, you take his money away, now he's going to start relying much more heavily on getting away with the law. Because if you don't have money, you can't afford those white lawyers who are going to get your ass off every single time. You're also going to put more pressure on the fact that you need the media. What's been happening? This whole Senegal story, it's been fantastic for publicity, for the majority of South Africans to actually see what's going on, how this idiot actually thinks, and when it's an important time to deliver a message for your so-called movement, all you can do is spew hate and racism. So we can clearly see that pressure is being put on his narrative, and we can clearly see that pressure is being put on his relationships with the ANC, as well as with Bheki Cele. And I wonder which one is going to crumble first, because BBS, if we have any trust left in the South African law system, then something will come of this. We can only hope, though. We can only hope.
Well, here's another little one that I picked up. Once again, we don't own any of this copyrights or anything to this, but yeah, I think he's got an underlying agenda. He's money hungry as anything. I mean, he broke down his R1 million mansion in Sandton to rebuild a R1 million mansion, and I'm not talking about 1 million, I'm talking about millions. But take a look at this. Malema's year of spending dangerously 5.3 million in VBS loot siphoned off the slush fund. Credit card and tweets track a 900,000 personal shopping spree, which I will just bring up in his answers. And that I was looking through a whole lot of videos, but I didn't want to put them all together. It would have taken us forever to get through tonight.
I've actually got a couple of personal expenses here, if you'd be interested in hearing some of them.
Yeah. Because he blamed the card, the credit card. No, it's not his credit card. It belongs to his brother. I think it's old Floydy there. I stand corrected again. But it belongs to his brother, who's always with him. So he doesn't work. No. My brother's with me all the time. He was funding the Durban July, or he was running a canopy or a tent there or whatever. Wow, you know what? You guys really have money, if you can actually fund these things at the Durban July. And no, and he did not spend money. It says he bought Nando's. He never bought Nando's. He flew back, and he didn't stay at the hotel where you know what? The only time you actually defend yourself so violently is when you're actually guilty. There's a VBS money theft, money laundering, and life's little luxuries. I mean, you saw the pictures of that the guy who was talking from Zimbabwe showed of him looking very luxurious. And then if you take a look at the pictures of when he was speaking, I think after his court case, he was not very poorly dressed at all. If you had to probably take a more insightful look into it, which I have no substance to say, however, it is a presumption that those clothes are name brands and far, far more expensive. I know his watch somehow somebody got as an extremely expensive watch. although he persists on dressing like my damn garden boy when he goes to Parliament. I mean, what kind of respect do you have for your fellow man? And then you stand up there and you just spew racial hatred. And you know what? I'm going to say something that's probably going to disgust everyone. But Ramaphosa takes it like a porn star in the face.
Of course, yes. Ramaphosa is one of his fluffers. What are you talking about?
Sorry, I
But
didn't mean to make it that bad, but yeah.
Pick a little bit of an argument in the narrative now that you bring up Julius Malema's expenses there. So for those of you who are South African will remember January 2018, Julius Malema instructed his warriors to go attack H&M stores, right?
Correct.
Now, if we take a look at his expenses, you will see that on the 31st of May, which is 4 months after the H&M incident, who goes to H&M in Sandton and spends about 2,000 rand?
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, this is public information.
Not
this
presumption? Are you not presuming, my friend?
No, this is public information. The exact amount is 1,887 rand. Then also expense on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, 2018. This was at a Polokwane liquor store, 39,476 rand. 40,000 rand on a company credit card on Christmas Day. Do you want to tell me that they had... come on, man. On
Must
Christmas
have been
Day.
for political. I think he went and fed the poor.
And oh yes, of course, yeah, from the liquor
must
store.
Have been, yeah, of course, yes. They get thirsty too, damn it.
Holy shit, Andre! How many bar peanuts do you think you can buy for 40 grams?
What vodka's potatoes? It's made from potatoes. We don't have to. No.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, that's pathetic.
And it goes on. One Gucci expense in Sandton, 20,400 rand. A Louis Vuitton Sandton expense, 11,100 rand. Wines on the Square in Sandton, which is a very nice place, 8,400 rand. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Honestly, if we're going to need to sit here and go through the entire 9.4 million rand, which is actually 16 million rand from the VBS, the local slush, the latest income from the slush fund, we would take forever.
Income information? I mean, when I say dinkum, I mean actual true information?
Yes.
Substantiated or unsubstantiated?
This is substantiated information. This is public record.
Wow.
This is what's gone public. And now the thing is why I think he's also hitting the rhetoric part of that milk stool leg so hard right now is the fact that so VBS's chief financial officer, who is a white guy as well, what was his name? Philip. Philip. Yeah, Philip Trutter. So this man has pleaded guilty and turned state witness for a reduced sentence of 7 years. Now, this, my friend, has got the EFF and the top brass at the ANC's arseholes doing this right now, because all of this information is going to come out. But I also don't know, with the National Prosecuting Authority being what it is right now, it's an absolute shambles. We don't know if this court case is ever going to see the light of day, but just by how much focus he's been placing on farm murders and the white man and everything compared to during the lockdown, this should indicate that he is scared shitless of something. And I don't necessarily think it's only the boer.
He deflects, but he's deflecting with evil, brutality, and racism. Pure racism. It's like a cancer that flows out of him and that infects so many. And this is why I said he's evil. He's not just a little rupture. He's evil, which means he is somebody to be concerned about. It doesn't help saying, he spews rubbish. Don't worry about him. The evil that he spews is creating a hysteria.
Yeah. I mean, just after the Senegal incident, sorry, before you carry on there, I've been speaking to quite a lot of family and friends back home, and one thing that's become apparent is how the average South African gets, if you're white, obviously, has gotten scrutiny in the streets. I mean, seriously, people going out to Spar or Pick and Pay to pick up a bread, and a random person there tells you, hey, you white person, fuck off back to Europe. This has been happening quite a lot after all of these speeches is made, and this is very scary and very concerning, because the uneducated public of South Africa is seeing one of their big leaders, a member of parliament, say this on public platforms openly, not get addressed or not get any form of response from that. So they think this is right. They think any crime and any insult hurled towards any white South African is completely justified, and that's what we need to stand for. Now, this already in a country where the average criminal acts with 10 times more brutality than just wanting to take your cell phone, that's very, very concerning. So you've got it on the political platform. We know what he's doing and why he's doing it, but does he actually realize what he's creating here? Because he is starting a war amongst the people as well.
He's creating feelings, yeah, emotions. He's stirring emotions.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit further quickly and see.
Once you display white tendency, once you display white arrogance, whiteness, white supremacist, apartheid apologist, then you will know who we are. But when you love South Africa, when you want to share the wealth of South Africa, when you want peace for South Africa, when you respect Black and African leadership in particular, we can coexist. We are not racist. We hate racists. We deal decisively with racists. You cannot hate racism and be a racist yourself.
Sorry, I had to add that in. Okay, I had to add that one in because I actually split it in there on purpose.
I'm happy you did. First of all, you know that sound he's making, that sound he's making, right? That's the sound of Becky Chele's balls in his mouth.
Oh, yeah, because he's got them. He's got them. But the way he goes about it is, you know what, you've got to learn to live together and then respect the black man, because you cannot be white and arrogant, and we are not racist, and you can't be racist and you can't hate racism and be racist as well. And then at the funeral at the court case, not the funeral, at the court case of a white young boy that was brutally murdered. And he happens to be a farm manager, so it's amongst the farmers. They have the arrogance to chant, "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer," although that has been it's prohibited.
It's outlawed.
It's outlawed. You can't use it. It's as outlawed as what the old South African flag is. Let someone open up the old South African flag, and mainstream media would have pissed purple, pink all over the place there.
Can you remember with Black Monday? With Black Monday, there was one person who flew an old South African flag, and it was all over the media. That guy was chastised, left, front, and center. That guy took flag. But
nothing was done about this again.
Kill the Boer. I mean, come on. And why though? Not one of those people actually speak proper English. And yes, fuck that. If he can generalize, so can I. Not one of them speak proper English, but there's a reason they're actually singing "Kill the Boer" in English. This is definitely to send a message. Clearly.
It's to antagonize. Yeah, it's definitely to antagonize. I mean, and the part that I haven't got in his speech, and you can see it in his whole speech as well, is the fact that he says, and please tell me if I'm moving too far from this mic. This mic is new and I can't get the bloody thing working properly. And I've had to try and jack it to a blooming laptop as well. But the thing is, he also said, no, they're not there to support or the murderers. They must be dealt with. They can go and rot and everything. These murderers, they don't care. It's not their problem. Okay. But they're not supporting the cause that is there. So why are they there? They're there to antagonize.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't go to something this sensitive and then spew racial hatred.
Yeah.
And then shout that you are not a racist, because you can't be racist and hate racism. And then that clip, by the way, that I threw in there was taken from the exact same meeting that they were at. And they get away with it. Nothing is done to him. However,
not single piece of media coverage either.
The last cynical situation that came up was, let me just see if I can find it here. The last cynical thing that came up was there was a farmer, Andre, I don't know who, that
on sale.
He was arrested. He's still in jail. I don't think they've given him bail or anything like that.
He's behind now, yeah.
Let's see if I can find that thingy over here.
You're not talking about that colonel. You're talking about the farmer that
was arrested. Take a look at this. Justin, cynical unrest, second arrest made after court case.
Yay! We beating whatever the hell it is you're trying to beat.
Let me just try and move this around.
We beat the white man.
As I said, my screens are so messed up, it's just not funny. What did mainstream media put in? The first thing mainstream media puts in is the picture of the burning police vehicle. Never mind that. Burning police vehicle following the protest. Second arrest has been made relating to the chaos that played out in Senegal. I love the way mainstream media just supports this little blighter as well. So he is fueled. As farmers and their supporters were seemingly trying to gain access to two men accused of murdering a farm manager in Brendan Horner last week. He was stabbed and found with a rope around his neck and tied to a pole in Polru in the Free State 2 weeks ago. Another arrest has been made in connection with the torching of the police vehicle. A 33-year-old man has been taken into custody. He'll face charges of public violence, arson, malicious damage to property, and attempted murder. I've seen these guys light up their own people and get away with it.
But the last incident, how many road signs have been taken down? How many of these big concrete dustbins have been pushed over? How much? I don't even think they started calculating on what the damages is that the EFF went to actually protect infrastructure, but they themselves are the only ones who caused a screw up. And this is what we get from the media.
There's the other guy, Andre Pina, a Marquard farmer, is being held in Bethlehem after he was arrested. He hasn't got bail. These people don't get bail. I mean, the rest get bail. I mean, look at Andile Lengisa. He smashed on video, on film. You can see he was out of rage wanting to attack a speaker, being stopped by a DA member, smashed a glass jug over this a member or councillor's head, and about 2 years later he gets jail sentence and then bail and excuse. For crying out loud, where do you get these things from? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Police Minister Becky Chelly and Justice Minister Ronaldo Lamola have both condemned the incident. I mean, really? But nothing gets said about these hooligans. I'm, in the immortal words of President Cyril Ramaphosa, I'm shocked.
You see, we shouldn't be laughing, but
we shouldn't. But I mean, how else do we get through our show without doing a little bit of a smile there?
Holy shit!
I mean, it's absolutely, from a man in the streets point of view, looking at this circus unfold in our country. And you know what? I don't want to be funny, but I've had such crap where I'm working and that at the moment from people that I work with, from colleagues that are supposed to be your friends that, I mean, cut your back open so badly, and zero support from management and things to that effect. I have really been homesick. And what made it even worse is I have no home to go to. I can't say, guys, you know what? I've tried the Outland. I want to go home. What home? Because I've got blighters like this parking around there. Let's check a little bit further quickly.
Let's put this to an end. There is no farm murders in South Africa.
Just hang on. I'm pretty sure I heard wrong there.
I just want to maybe replay that.
Let's put this to an end. There is no farm murders in South Africa.
How ironic is it that he's standing at the court case of a farmer who's been fucking murdered?
Once more, because, yeah.
Let's put this to an end. There is no farm murders in South Africa. There are no farmers who are being killed. And this message must reach that racist Trump. There are no white farmers being killed in South Africa. In South Africa, there are women being killed. In South Africa, there are children being killed. In South Africa, there are women being raped. There are children being raped. Those are the who deserve our special attention.
Wait. Those are the people who deserve the attention, because there are no farmers, no white farmers, specifically again. And nobody said we're unhappy with the fact that white farmers are being killed. Yes, I know there's a connotation and a cliche to it, so I'm not going to deny that fact. But the problem is, and most people are saying, farmers. I mean, you saw the list that we were going on about, that we were just, we didn't even get to the end of the list 2 weeks ago when we were talking about farm murders. Were they white? Were they all white? No. At least every month there was a fair share of an Indian, a colored, a black, and then, and there were women, and there are children being killed, murdered, massacred. That he has the arrogance to turn around and say that, and then he says, yes, there are women being killed, there are women being, children being killed, there are women being raped, there are children being raped. They deserve the attention, not, listen to this,
not the privileged, white, old racists. Today,
not the privileged, white, old racists. Where do you get away with saying that? Where on earth, where in this world are you allowed to do that?
Unfortunately, in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. That's where.
Where you deny a problematic pandemic, you point out that there is another problem. I'm not disagreeing with there are women being killed. I'm not disagreeing with there are children being killed. I'm not disagreeing with that there are women being raped. I'm not disagreeing with that there are children being raped. That is fact.
But also, ironically, he is the best friend of the current police minister, who's supposed to be responsible for curbing this.
But the problem is, they must get the attention, not the privileged white old regime. They can be raped, apparently. They can be murdered, apparently. They can be killed or whatever. Does he then cognitively, do I then look at it as such? Do I then look at it that he is then saying that the farmers are privileged, white, old regime, because therefore there is no problem. He's even calling Trump a racist.
Yeah.
Hello,
Therefore,
Mr. Trump. I think we need a
it is okay.
wait, essay calling Trump. I think we need a drone in this area. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Donald Trump
You
has
just-
one call.
Just-
Man, it's I don't know. I'm at a loss for words.
he criticizes the hell out of the police. You heard in that first insert that he says that wherever they are, there is a ton of police, and they are always being hit by the police. But there is no stinking police boot where there's a white get together.
Yeah. I
He's
wonder
once again, he's doing the same thing that the president slyly throws into all these things, going black and white. They are people. I'll actually get it up on YouTube just now. Just the start of the video of Chris Wyatt's video, and he did a phenomenal coverage on Friday. But there's a white middle-aged lady, and she's sitting next to a black middle-aged lady, and they are praying together. And Julius Malema, as you saw earlier on, also, why are you a coconut? Why are you sympathizing? Why are you saying, okay, you got the land, take it? You know what? If you're going to live together, you need to compromise together, and you need to allow to build each other up. But breakdown and breakdown and breakdown is not going to be the result.
This is true, my friend. Unfortunately, I still can't imagine how it's okay for somebody to say that because you're white and privileged, it's okay that my followers can boil 9-month-old babies in front of their mothers. But the
rape
focus
the
is
mothers in front of their kids.
That doesn't deserve any attention whatsoever.
Kidoki. Let's see if I can carry on this.
Sector. Well, now they are going to be equal to the people they used to call monkeys. That's what is paining a white man. A white man is paid by the fact that he's going to have to share the same table with a monkey.
Protesters taking their disgust with the ad right to the Swedish clothing retailer. This
Wait, did he just call himself a monkey?
Yeah, and across the globe. Calling for H&M to be kicked out of the country, protesters stormed into the shop, leaving a trail of destruction. Malema says the EFF will tackle racism head-on this year.
All over South Africa, H&M stores are closed because they called our children baboons. So we're teaching them a lesson.
Sorry, I just had to put that one in as well, because he's just referred to themselves as monkeys, and that's what, you have to share your table with monkeys, and we're monkeys. But those blithering idiots destroyed H&M stores and were outraged. But when your leader then refers to you as a monkey.
Yeah, and then 3 months later he goes and supports H&M.
I wonder if he bought that hoodie because he thought it actually looked cool. No.
Well, I doubt that hoodie would be about 2,000 Rand, but it's ridiculous.
But no, I had to put that in because in the same time, in everything, he's like white, racist, everything. And then he goes and publicly announces that they are monkeys and we not want to share our table with monkeys. That's what pains them, is that they will be sharing with monkeys. And I had to just show you what his views about a year or two ago were on monkeys. Apart from the fact that there's another old lady, and bless her soul, I looked it up as well. She died last year from colon cancer by the name of Penny Sparrow. who actually picked up a criminal case against her for referring to them as monkeys on the beach because the beach was so covered, and I don't know where it was. Yeah, somewhere there. But yeah, she has passed on. Otherwise, I'd like her on the show. No, I'm kidding. But but yeah, so I thought, no, well, I'm not going to spread that one. But I thought, well, you know what? Seeing as you had a problem with monkeys, let me show you what you did the last time someone actually just advertised a shirt that anyone can put on, by the way.
Yeah.
And decided that you were labeled a monkey, and now you go with your big freaking fat face and discriminatingly, racistly, evilly spew the word monkey over you and your supporters.
Also, if that was the CEO of where you bank and where you invest, would you be happy in the choice you made?
I don't know.
Would you bank with the same party that? Yeah, would you actually bank with your party if your party was a bank?
Julius, Jules, where you? You tell me where you put your money.
Yeah,
and then you put it by your mouth. I don't want to call him a monkey because
used to play with VBS, but
no, I'm not going to say bad things because that doesn't put me right. But yeah, let's take a look further.
Helen Zille, if you are an African, you will know that white people, for their genocide against black people, for their apartheid, for their rape, for their murder, when they apologize, they must do it the African way. We need cattle. And today, cattle are no longer working. Cattle, we use them for a synonym of money. They must pay us billions and billions in reparation as a way of apologizing. Without money accompanying apology, we'll never be friends.
Okay. What did that guy say? Money bag grabbing bag or something like that. He called it. He just proved his agenda. What does he want? He wants money. He is money drunk. That's all he cares about is money, because he wants what? Billions and billions. You Zimbabwean, you want billions for what you never stood up to, for your insults, for your brutal emotional hikes and things like that. You should be paying reparations to this country for the damage you have done, not for the.
Where are the reparations of the poor people from Limpopo? Malema's his home province, by the way, where VBS Bank was, because the majority of VBS's clients that actually lost their life savings were the poor working communities from Limpopo. His people, the people he is supposed to protect and represent. 2.3 billion rand, and the last one came out from VBS Bank. That's the life savings of a shitload of people from Limpopo. But he wants the money, and the same people who get robbed stand there and say, yeah, we want the money. Kill H&M, kill Clicks, kill the farmer. But when it comes to reparations and what you really actually want, money, none of those supporters see jack shit. It would surprise me if they even get a Coke to attend.
Is basically, I think they had to buy food there. I don't know, but I don't know how many hundreds of thousands they've had to spend to bribe people. Yeah, bribe him with a Kentucky box or whatever. But,
well, he did actually really hand out food parcels and stuff there. You know that.
I believe so. As I say, I am cautious about actually making statements that I do not have fast evidence or things about. But,
you can fact check me, but that's true.
But the bottom line is he wants money. But I want to get to another point on this. He says, Helen Zille, if you are an African, you will know that you need to pay reparations in cattle, and cattle these days are not good. It is a synonym for money, chelete. Okay. If you are an African, okay, we want it done the African way. just lately, there's a guy in the news who's had fraud and a case against him, or misdemeanor case, or whatever case it is, I don't know, against him because of an application he did for a school department head or head or whatever leadership position, etc., etc. He's a white guy who put under the nomination African.
Oh,
And
I know.
they said that was misleading.
Yeah.
This was misleading. This was fraud. This was okay. Now I just want to put I just want to put a few things together here. African means you come from Africa. A South African means you come from South Africa, which means you're African. Am I correct?
Checks out.
South African. Let's take a look at the Afrikaans
Yeah,
word.
checks out.
Suid-Afrika. Okay? As jy van Suid-Afrika, if you come from Suid-Afrika, you're a Suid-Afrikaner. If you come from South Africa, you're a South African. African, Afrikaner. So does the word African and Afrikaner not mean the same thing?
Essentially, it should,
So
but not according to old Julius there.
if you are telling me we are African and you are Afrikaners, what is the difference? Because South African, South Africa, South Africa means you're a South African, South Afrikaner. So if you're an African, you're an Afrikaner. So when you say African and you say Afrikaner, brew, and I'm saying that to left and right here. Where are you guys finding a line between African and Afrikaner, which means the same bloody thing? So if I say to you I'm an African, it doesn't mean I'm damn black. It doesn't mean I'm yellow. It could mean I'm yellow, pink, purple, Chinese. I have a Chinese friend born and bred in South Africa. He'll tell you when he goes to China, he sticks out like a sore thumb. They can tell him, you're not from here, because he has South African culture in him. He grew up in South Africa. I am South African. I am an African. You're from South Africa. You're an Afrikaner. I'm an African. We're the same people. Julius Malema has probably less than an African than what we are.
Less South African than what we are, definitely.
Yeah, sorry, he is African. He's from Zimbabwe, but yeah, he's less African than South African than what we are. But he has this audacity to say this is the African way. What is the African way? South Africa consists of so many different cultures.
Yeah.
How can you take it under the one and say this is the African way?
I would have loved to see Helen Ziller take that up seriously and send him a 10 Rand via e-wallet. There's your money and your apology. I'm sorry, 10 Rand e-wallet, we sorted.
He wants billions as far as he's concerned.
Well, look, if he is Zimbabwean, you can always translate that into the Zimbabwe. There's your billion, buddy.
Take that, you fat shit. He's picking up as well.
Genuine apology, which is presented in an African way that shows remorse. If you don't know what we mean, go and ask the cliques. They will tell you how it is done.
You see, this is dangerous because cliques bend the knee.
Well,
that's the EFF, by the way. It's the end of that video as well. I do have another 2-minute video as well to go on with. But yeah, if you don't know how to apologize, ask clicks. And this is the problem. This is why we do not negotiate with terrorists, because he is an evil, racist terrorist.
Definitely.
I'm not labeling him. I'm not labeling his color. I'm labeling his nature. He is an evil, racist terrorist. He is the face of evil racism in South Africa. He is the putrid
definition of a terrorist, Andre, is a person who incites violence and actually creates violence and chaos to further his own political agenda. That's the textbook definition of a terrorist. But he goes on stage and calls all white farmers terrorists because we actually show up in solidarity of one of our own being murdered in cold blood. The hypocrisy is just everywhere.
I don't care where it is. I've taken the latest because I want to show the latest on it. I don't want to tell you, hey, this is from 2 years ago, this is 3 years ago, because so many people these days are digging up dirt on people. Sometimes people have made mistakes. Everybody has made mistakes. I make them every day. So do you. We apologize for them. Sometimes we quietly try and navigate around them. We're human or whatever, but we don't exploit them. And this guy's arrogance does not want to even note his mistakes. He's arrogantly evil. And I mean, Clicks made the mistake of negotiating with a terrorist. And they didn't bend a knee. They bent over without jelly, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they bit the pillow, man.
It's just they had their whole head shoved into it, bro. Because he goes there over there as well to then elaborate about how they had to get sanitary pads and how it was right for sanitary pads, and sanitary pads are so important, and this about sanitary pads. I thought he was having a bad period in his life, but it wasn't. Apparently, it was about sanitary pads. but
No, man,
and then the next lot of T-shirts he says that are going to get handed out are going to be handed out with sanitary pads. And I thought, oh, that's the truth, you know. Heaven bless us all.
Is a cancer, and South Africa has it, stage 4.
I actually want to show you something else at that came up at that. You thought the EFF were the only people, and then these weren't a lot. So I don't know if it's an offspring or if it's just a couple of pawpaws, but that's not the EFF. That's our government. That's our governing party. At a farmer's,
Wow. I haven't seen that one.
That's there.
Well, I guess the best form of flattery is imitation, isn't it?
So there you've got, and green and gold, and no, it's not the Springbok rugby players either. That's there.
Hold up. My friend, that's ANC colors there, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Take a look on the left of the image. Someone's wearing a bandana. They're clearly with the ANC logo on it.
We can try and go into it a little bit more, but there you can see it says vote ANC on that little thing over there. They've all got the yellow ANC. That over there is the ANC logo. And as you were noting, that is an ANC bandana over there. This was a little group of our governing party just not wanting to be left out in the process.
Was this also in Senekal?
Yep, on Friday.
That man must have balls of steel to walk through Senekal with a sign like that, man.
Not cool. Not cool at all. But I just want to finish off with a little bit of Jules' arrogance. Watch this interview. Newsroom Africa, this is yours. It's not mine. I don't claim it to be mine or anything like that, but it's all over the internet. So let's check this out quickly.
That's the former president, Kgalema Motlanthe, who says that if there's any more friction in that town of Senekal, it could spark civil war. Are you going to listen to him?
So be it. We're in this mess because of people like him who allowed whites to undermine us like that. You think we can listen to people like him? You think we can listen to Mbeki, to Zuma, to Mandela? We'll never allow that. This nonsense must come to an end at some point. These whites should know that we're not stepchildren in this country. This is our country. We too belong here. And if going to Senegal will cause a civil war, if a man exercises his constitutional rights, that will lead to a civil war, so be it. I'm not talking here from the comfort of my couch in the newsroom Africa offices. I will be in Senegal myself. I will be leading from the front. Do what you want to do. What soldiers? Why should we be scared of
Hey, that sounds like an invitation, man.
them when they were soldiers? When they legitimately carried
Arrogance,
guns to kill
racist,
black people, we
evil,
confronted them with stones.
terrorist,
Let history
thug,
repeat
pus.
itself. Let us confront the same people our parents confronted.
Yeah.
If that is going to be the case, let it be.
Mr.
We're not
Malema.
going to live in fear here because we think white farmers are former generals. They can go to hell.
Mr.
Murderers,
Malema.
generals.
Mr. Malema, I put it to you that as a responsible leader, you are the third biggest party in this country. Your utterances right now, you sound like a person who is spoiling for war, not the protection of democracy that you claim to go and do there. Is that what you essentially want?
What is war? When a person says, I'm going to Senegal to defend a building with my body, I've never told you of AK-47. I've never told you
but
of
you are
hand grenade.
also saying...
You are talking war.
But you are saying...
When I defend myself against white racists and terrorists, if you are scared of them, it's none of my business, Chief.
But you
Go
are
on
saying...
alone.
But
if
you are
that's
saying...
of being scared of white people, I'm standing up to them.
He's even disrespectful to the person who is interviewing him.
And the fact that a journalist from Newsroom Africa actually put his foot down.
Yeah, I mean,
well, that should make it. That should make the news in itself. But
mainstream media is not going to do that too well.
His black brothers and his black sisters, right up until somebody disagrees with him, then you get fired willy nilly. Willy nilly.
Willy nilly. Willy nilly.
Yeah, man. Look,
Yeah.
I think he really wanted war. He wanted war. He wanted the media. He wanted the media attention for that. He wanted that classic reel where he gets moored in the face by somebody with a khaki shirt on, and he just didn't get it. And I think that frustrates them even more, which I would argue it could be even more dangerous on a day-to-day basis with what the EFF is walking away from this right now. I'm just really happy en ek is trots op my boere dat nie een van hulle moere gepluk het nie. Nobody actually lifted their hands, nobody threw a rock, nobody actually shot someone. I'm proud of them for standing tall and actually showing some restraint in the face of adversity, where I know it's super easy to lose your temper. But yeah, the EFF did not get what they wanted there. Look, they might have gotten the media attention they wanted to a certain degree, but they didn't win the big battle they went out to fight, which was to get the media attention and that classic reel of one of them getting moored in the face by the white racist.
I actually didn't want to play this clip. And it's once again, it's not mine. It's a very short clip, but what it boils down to isn't really the clip as much as I think it was Joe Emilio, if I'm not mistaken. Joe, what's the other guy who wrote? But anyway, I think it was so all credit for the actual caption that was put above this in Twitter to Joe for this shot, because just once again goes to show that half the people there didn't know why they were there.
Oh, and man!
He captioned this one, "Look alive, soldier." Now, what I want you to do is actually keep your eye on this guy's expression and how much interaction he gives. This guy over there. And Joe put the caption, "Look alive, soldier."
Are coming. We are going to occupy each and everything. We are not playing here. We are going to demonstrate power. We are not shaken. They will see if they can defend themselves. Are coming. We are.
Ever had one of those WTF moments?
Where will you be when the weed kicks in, right? That guy's he's a rocker, man. Yeah.
We will
He
fight them
doesn't
on the beaches. We will fight them on the sea.
Yeah, I think in the United States we've got Sleepy Joe. In the EFF we've got Sleepy Joseph. Is looking alive, soldier. That's looking really, really focused and really ready for their wall.
This guy, as I said, is the evil pus of racism and terrorism in South Africa. Is if you take a look at what he's getting away with by he refers to consistently whites, racists, supremacists. He wants them, if you can actually take the narrative from him, he wants them basically to be bowing down to people like him. He wants them to be acting like visitors to his country.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
ironically, the visitors are better behaved than the so-called residents.
He's unbelievable. The question that is unanswered, and we're not going to be able to answer that question because our president incites this himself. I saw that in his letter.
Oh, he still hasn't really said anything about anything that's going on right now. When South Africa is in turmoil, he seems to go into hiding.
Because of this, the height that this last murder, farm murder, reached, he felt it necessary to put out a soothing, eye-blinding letter in which he still states the difference. You know, it's like, it's like you're a stranger in a strange land, in your own land. And that's what Malema wants. He wants you to be a stranger in your own land. He will not give up, but you cannot. And I don't know how. Even the Human Rights Commission went and said, we want to mediate at Senekal. How the hell can they mediate? And straight out, they are not respected. They are biased. They are as thick as pig dung. They're all happy little noddies as receiving paychecks. I mean, we can go on to this on a later stage. Ramaphosa's, what's the name of plan to bolster the economy and things like that is inflate public service work and jobs. You can't do that because you can't sustain it. All he's going to do is destroy more public entities by trying to oversaturate the positions they're in. I mean, SAA was living proof of that. They had X amount of planes, and I think they had about 900. I stand corrected, so please don't sue me for this, but I think they had about 900 staff per plane. Not to man the plane, it's just the way they count their staff. And if you're looking at other airlines which are successful, ran at about 300 staff to a plane. So we had over-bolstered SAA, which, guys, they nosedived. They landed them that way. And what is not going to help is then pulling out everybody and leaving the those unable to do the job in the place.
Yeah, man, I think to end off as well, look, once again, the EFF is cancer and South Africa has its stage 4. The moment the EFF gets disbanded or taken away by whatever miracle, not that I think that's really going to happen, but the moment Julius Malema and the EFF have less platform to actually spew the shit, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of change, or at least a slowing down in this white monopoly capital argument, and the farm murders and the racial hate, the pure hate. If the EFF's platform gets taken away and they get taken out of the equation, the ANC is basically going to fall because they lost their right-hand man there, and the narratives of Americans need to change as well, and the EFF's preventing that from happening.
Their Chihuahua, because there's no bite to that. The thing is, he is dangerous in the way he's sweeping up people. And it also, sadly, just proves the amount of uneducated people that are still in our country, because he's not going to get that right with an educated human being. And I state explicitly, educated human being. And I don't mean learned, which is degreed or anything like that. Just a person who has possibly been schooled, who has actually been taught at home in the right way to look at things in perspective. But while he keeps his people poor and uneducated, the trees will vote for the axe because its handle was made of wood.
Exactly.
But I had that thing of because there was a sudden eruption between last night and this morning of General Isaac Nel, and I think we've run out of time for the show today, and I think we've made our point or our question with the face of racist evil, or the evil face of racism in South Africa. I don't know how you're looking for a Monday or a Tuesday. We can push a 45-minute, half an hour, 45 minutes. I don't think we'll push an hour and a half on it. But if you'd like to maybe do some look up on it.
I've got quite a lot to say on Meneer Isaac, whoever the fuck he thinks he is. I've got quite a lot to say to that bloke too.
I'm not very. I don't think that he. I don't know if he was what he was accused of. I don't think we should maybe discuss it now. We shouldn't discuss it on a whim. Let's take a look at it. I don't know, how's 7 o'clock tomorrow or Tuesday look for you? 8 o'clock. That means South African time, guys. It'll be 2, 3 o'clock South African time. Tomorrow?
I'm open tomorrow.
7, 8?
No.
Which time's better?
7 or 8. I'm alone in the jungle, my friend. I have time on my hands.
You're the only little monkey in the jungle. Sorry, I had to say that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jules. I was talking about what's the name? I was talking about Julius over there. There we go. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so guys, we'll have our content to a special live broadcast then at 7 o'clock Cambodian time tomorrow. 2 o'clock South African time tomorrow. If you can't pick it up, do pick up the rerun. Thank you very much for the views. Please like and subscribe. Let me push that generous button over there. Like and subscribe. Ring the bell. I'm kidding. No, don't. Ring the bell for hit the bell for notifications, guys.
And question of the day: if your political party was a bank, would you actually place your money with them?
Please actually put it in the comments down there. The comments are left open, and if you would like to comment on it in a future show, please do so. We really look forward to hearing from you. We have got quite a phenomenal amount of views on the last 2. Pepper's Echo has been going only I think 5, 6, 7 weeks. We've had 3 really decent ones with the NA discussion, which will be every Sunday at 2 o'clock South African time, 7 o'clock Cambodian time, and seems to be pretty successful. Julius, thank you very much. You are really a successful factor, and I really enjoy our chats. It's pretty amazing at what we can pull out. Once again, we don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, but it's just what we see from the outside looking in, guys.
Yeah, Andre, thank you so much for having me on again. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, it's your show as well, bro. I don't bring you on.
Well,
you come on. You're no guest anymore. I can treat you like shit now.
That's good. I really feel that, man.
There is no NA discussion at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock without you. But thank you very much. Guys out there, thank you very much. From my side, I don't know, any last words from your side?
No, I just think it's something that we as South Africans need to keep in mind. It's a very interesting question. Would you actually bank with your political party? And also, if you did, do you think if you placed your money where you place your ballots, South Africa would see some change? I don't know. I think we can have an interesting discussion on that one too.
that is a phenomenal thing on its own. But I didn't want to leave without a little bit of humor, because we have such serious discussions that
It's making it difficult for us to put out humorous content, man.
it's really difficult. But this is like at Senecal as well, and there was something to make you smile. A fantastic farmer.
Yeah.
Check this out.
I am not very fluent in English. Praat maar Afrikaans asseblief. Nou my volk, hoekom sê jy nie so nie?
Oh, my people from the Northwest.
I am not very fluent in English. Praat maar Afrikaans asseblief. Nou my volk, hoekom sê jy nie so nie?
You still have some salt of the earth people as well.
Yeah.
Well, from our side, guys, thank you very much for watching. And if you are watching the rerun, yes, please don't forget to join us. Like and subscribe. Ring the bell for updates. Yeah, help us to get some subscribers. Hopefully, we will get some more visitors and guests on. I am hoping for Ronaldo, and I'm hoping for Chris Wyatt. I'm actually playing it out just until we do get a couple of people, so it's actually worth their while as well. But good people. So yes, to substantiate these questions. Sorry, did I sound like somebody from down under? These questions again. I would definitely take on the big guns who have the knowledge and the research on it, and have a lot more facts. Go and take a look at Ronaldo Host. Go and take a look at Chris Wyatt. Chris Wyatt, exceptionally knowledgeable. Go and take a look at Morning Shot, German Warfare. I haven't linked Conscious Caracal. Big Daddy Africa. No, what's it? Big Daddy Liberty, sorry, was at Senecal as well. He did a phenomenal job in his interviews and things to that effect as well, guys. So, yeah, I don't know if I've left out some people in that, but there are some phenomenal guys out there. Do let us know if there's others, but those are the guys that we're suggesting to bolster and to actually check facts against what we chat about. But from our side, be good, take care.
Yes.
And if you can't be good, at least be kind.
There you go.